Stories in today's video. 1. Update. My 24F boyfriend, 26M, of 6 months told me that I need to unlove the men from my past before I can love him. 2. Update. My best friend, 20M, asked me, 20M, out. I said yes. I didn't know it was a date. 3. Update. How do I 28F break up with someone when I'm there 31 meters everything? Link to original post. Figured I'd update my post from about a month ago. Unfortunately, there wasn't a happy ending, but I am very grateful for a lot of the advice I received here. Thank you, Reddit, for helping me keep my head on straight. After I made my first post, I read all the comments and thought about everything for a few days. A lot of people mentioned that they would not be comfortable with the frequency of my communication with my ex. I thought that was very fair. People also mentioned that Mark's behavior was pretty controlling and not okay. I also thought that was fair. I went to talk to Mark and told him that I understood if he was uncomfortable with me being in touch with Eli weekly, and that I would be totally willing to cut that down. I also reiterated again that I was not currently in love with Eli and hadn't been for a while. Mark was understanding this time and seemed happy with the fact that I offered to cut down my contact with Eli. But then I told Mark that although I was willing to do this, I wasn't happy with how he approached the issue and that I found his behavior controlling. I basically told him that I want him to approach issues in a more rational way and I would appreciate if he opened a dialogue rather than just telling me what to do, and that I wouldn't put up with him trying to command me to do something, especially something so ridiculous. I said everything in the same tone as I used for the first half of the conversation. I wasn't yelling at him or admonishing him, just trying to let him know where my boundaries are. You guys, Mark flew off the handle. He started screaming at me. I obviously wasn't having it, so I got up to leave. He started throwing dishes and random kitchen items at me, and grabbed me and slammed my head into the door jamb. I ended up with a nasty black eye and a busted lip. Luckily for me, a neighbor heard the commotion and called the cops. Mark was arrested and I was taken to the hospital. Yes, I'm pressing charges and filed for a restraining order. Overall, it was a horrible incident, but I'm glad this happened earlier in the relationship rather than later. And I am forever grateful for the neighbor who called the cops. I am also grateful to most of you guys for telling me that I wasn't being insane in my first post and for pointing out the early warning signs. It wasn't the best ending, but I'm okay and I'm just glad it's over. Take this as a cautionary tale, I guess. TLDR. Tried to have a rational conversation with Mark. He gave me a black eye and busted lip. It's over, thank God. Edit. I've gotten a lot of concerned messages, which I appreciate, telling me to watch out for Mark now and that abusers are often at their most dangerous right after a breakup. Just to ease everyone's mind, I'm staying with a CL*SS mate who Mark does not know for the time being, so I'm well protected. The original post. First of all, I wanted to thank people for responding. I was majorly panicking when I wrote the post, and the comments I got helped a ton to get me to relax before talking to Noah. I wasn't expecting such a huge response at the time and I was amazed, but looking back now I can see why it got so much attention. It was a pretty weird situation. Next, I want to say we are both men. Apparently this makes a big difference for some people in terms of advice. Some of the people who assumed I was a woman also made some weird comments and sent me some pretty gross messages. If you did this, please stop. That's not cool. I gave a bit of an update as an edit to the original post, but now since it's been 3 months I thought I'd give you all an update about how things have been going since then, since it seems like there's been a bit of interest, and I'm still really thankful to all of you for helping me out. Noah is doing really well. I could tell he was still a bit *SSED for the first couple weeks, but after that he told me again that he was still happy. He asked me because now he knew how I felt and he could get over it. He also thanked me for taking it so well, which is definitely thanks to what a lot of you said, so I guess I'm sort of *SSING his thanks onto you cheeky smiley face. One of the commenters said I should be careful not to do anything that seemed like flirting with him, so I tried keep that in check. We used to hug a lot, sit really close together, and tell each other flirty jokes, you get the idea, but I toned those all down a lot to give him space and not mess with his feelings. I honestly think I see now why he thought I might be into him, because my relationship with him was very affectionate. It's been a lesson for me on how to be more aware of how other people are interpreting my signals. About a month after he asked me out, he asked me if I wanted to go to a gay bar with him. He made it super clear that it wasn't a date, but he did it in a really sarcastic way, which was a little **SSING for me, but also I think it was good that he could joke about it. So we went to a local gay bar together and we had a really good time. He's a bit introverted, so I played the wingman, and he ended up flirting with this really cute guy and he just seemed really happy. That was like 2 months ago and we've gone to the same bar a couple more times since then. He's been getting a bit more comfortable putting himself out there, which is really cool to see, and he's just been more open and happy for the last 2 months, always smiling and eager to go do stuff. Not sure how it's related, but it's a noticeable change from before he asked me out. I'm doing great too. I'm just really happy that I didn't hurt our relationship and that he's so happy. I also learned some important things from this whole situation about communication and being aware of how I present myself. Important lessons. I actually think I feel more confident now too, since he asked me out. Getting asked out feels good, man. It sounds kind of weird, but I think it made us closer. We've started talking about relationships more, which isn't something we really talked about before. He's gone on a few dates and he tells me about them, and the most recent guy he went out with he was really excited about, and I think he might be headed for his first serious relationship, which is amazing. That's actually what made me think of this post and decide to give you all an update. TLDR. So yeah, our relationship wasn't ruined and I still have my best friend. He's doing really well and I love seeing him so happy. Link to original post. Straight to it. I broke up with him a day after I made my original post a few months ago. I was emboldened by the support and, strangely enough, even some of the negative comments. I came home from work and blurted it out, straight and to the point. I told him that I wasn't happy, I hadn't been for a while, and that we would be separating. We agreed that he could stay in the extra bedroom for a few months while we got everything sorted, but when the lease was up we would be going our separate ways. The last few months have been hard. He went into full-blown panic mode, promised to change in the ways I had waited years for, and had several actual meltdowns begging me to stay. It was painful, but my resolve to live my own life never wavered. I just signed a new lease by myself and have begun to casually date someone in the same field as me. Life has an excitement to it that I haven't felt in years. It's like I've taken my first deep breath in a long time. So, if you're on the fence about leaving someone but your lives are so enmeshed that you don't see how it is possible, put yourself first. There is always a way out. Thank you.